Hi, I'm Michael, and today we're here to talk about your bow hold for the cello. Here is your cello bow, and to start with, I will show you a good bow hold. Remember that everybody's hand is going to look slightly different from the others, but we're going to all have the basic same principles in the way that we hold it. This is how I hold my bow, and I'm going to explain that to you in just a moment. So let's put down our bows and pick up a pencil. Hold up your right hand, and can you see on my hand I have little join lines. We'll call them joints. They match up with the knuckles on the other side. If you find on your middle finger the first joint, the closest one to the tip of your finger, and let's put the pencil against that joint. And now put the other fingers beside the middle finger onto the pencil, reasonably evenly spaced. So not touching each other and not a long way apart, just nicely positioned there. And the first joint of that finger is still touching the pencil. Now we bring your thumb up to touch the pencil and point in at the middle finger. Okay, so the thumb is bent. It's not doing that. It's bending and pointing at the middle finger. So you can see it like that. There we are. Everything's back to front on the video. Okay, now if you can, bend your thumb and move it backwards and forwards and roll that pencil so you can see it rolling backwards and forwards. Okay, this is what the bow is going to feel like in your hand. So now let's have a look at the bow. Your bow is made from a very special type of wood, and it is curved. Curves in the middle. It has horsehair from the tail of a horse. Yes, the horse had a haircut, so you could have a bow. At one end, we have the tip or the point, and at the other end, we have a whole lot of things. The most important one of those for now is the frog. The frog is what joins the hair onto the bow. Next to the frog, on this side, we have a screw that we use for tightening or loosening the bow. We make it tight, ready to play. Next to the frog on the other side, we have a bow grip and some silver winding. Now, remember the exercise we just did with your pencil? We put the pencil against the first joint. Now take the bow and put the first joint against the stick so that the tip of your middle finger is touching that silver ring called a ferrule. And let the other fingers come down beside the middle finger. So we have three fingers, one, 2, and 3. So the last three fingers, your pinky, your ring finger, and your middle finger, are all touching the frog. And your pointer is leaning on the bow grip, on that piece of leather. Now, that's what it looks like from here. And now we'll bring our thumb, just as we did on the pencil, across to touch the stick opposite your middle finger. If I turn it over, you can see that it's on the stick. It's not on the frog. It's not on the leather pad. It's on the stick in between the leather pad or the bow grip and the frog. So it's just touching the stick and both of those. And it's bent. See? Just the same as we did with the pencil. If I hold the other end of the bow, I can roll it with my thumb. And right there is a pretty good bow hold. Now, let's take the cello bow across to the cello. And we will look at how we bow. When we're bowing the cello, drawing the bow across the strings, the first thing we need to be aware of is making sure that the bow is straight, going straight across the strings. Nice and straight. Not going at an angle. If I do this, it's very hard to make a good sound. And if I do that, it doesn't sound as good, but it does sound lovely if I keep it straight. The easiest way to make sure it is staying straight is to look at the C curves at the side of the cello and to keep the bow in the middle of those. So if I'm on the C string, I'm nice and close to the bridge. If I'm on the C string and I keep the bow in the middle of the C curve, you can see that the bow is straight. If I do that on the A string, look, I have to actually change the angle. Look at that. I have to change the angle of the bow. I have to change the position of my hand to keep the bow straight on each string because the bridge is curved. When I'm on the A string, I can keep it straight, again, by watching where it is with the middle of the curve. The next thing to notice is what happens with my arm while I'm bowing. See, this is the action that I'm making. Most of the work is coming from the elbow. The top part of my arm, the upper arm, does move a little bit, but mostly the elbow is doing the work and the wrist moves. So when I'm bowing, my wrist goes down into a valley, you could say, making a little valley. And so we say we're going down. And when it comes back up this direction, the wrist moves upwards and it's like making a mountain. So we're going down to the valley and up to the mountain. So we call it a down bow and an up bow. Even if it's going in a different direction on the A string, I'm still going to make that valley. We've gone down to the valley and up to the mountain. Thank you for listening today and happy practicing.